Hello everyone, this is Swarmlord39 from Almost Cool. Today I am here with Math Jazz.
Hello.
And Diermood.
Hello.
And we are here back with our game of Stellaris. For those of you who were with us last time, you will remember that we had our first galactic crisis show up. And it is a doozy. We fleet averages of over 400k with a 1 million k sitting in the main system. So that will be it will be an interesting time trying to deal with the with this galactic crisis. Definitely allows crises to no longer be pushovers on the huge galaxy map. Before we go too far, and I end up forgetting, like I usually do, I'd like to thank YouTube user SquiddySource for commenting on the last video. Since we are fairly early on, and we don't get many comments, and just wanted to say thank you, and hope that this video is just as fantastic as you think the last one was.
Well, you should read his comment.
His comment was, "I think this is fantastic."
Right.
So again, thank you for the comment, and hopefully this next video will
be fantastic as well.
Yep.
I hope so.
So let's go ahead and unpause the game. Did we want to speed it up any, or did we want to leave it on normal speed?
Let's leave it on normal for 2-3 minutes, or at least 5 minutes or so, and then we'll bring it up to speed if we want. Just enough that we can hopefully get back up to speed. Not that we're off, but you know what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm. Ugh. Right, I forget we get. I've been forgetting we get lag spikes like that.
Oh hey, this makes me happy. I have a fleet size of nearly 100k. This makes me very happy.
Very nice.
My brother has evil ideas.
Yeah. Why are we so laggy? Is it just because I was... Yeah, so for now, I'm going to jump my fleet back out of the system it was in and go and repair. There he is.
Yeah, there he is.
So... while we're doing all that, I'm going to go ahead and do the usual, or semi-usual, I should say, since we sometimes forget, the mention of the Stellaris dev diary for the week.
Yay.
So, the previous dev diary mentioned that they would be talking about hive minds, and this dev diary did not disappoint on that. They mentioned that they are going to be, that a lot of the stuff for hive minds is going to be reworked. Well, okay, not like the gameplay stuff, but a lot of like flavor style stuff is going to be reworked. For example, shanty towns don't really make sense on a hive minds level because, you know what, there isn't a subsection of the population that's all poor. They're all...
They'll all be roughly the same, I would imagine.
Yeah, so instead they're replacing it with like the picture shows, collapsed boroughs instead of shanty towns. They're renaming certain technologies to make more flavor sense, such as the administrative AI being renamed to synaptic enhancers. Additionally, there'll be buff. There'll be I think it would be considered a buff. A buffer for the devouring swarms, or they're just going to be fixing more of the devouring swarms to make them more unique again. And finally, one that will affect both hive minds and will also affect the robotic ascension path. Is they will be adding in a new type of citizenship for people with appropriate tech levels and the like. That is called assimilation. Assimilation level allows them to, and you will no longer have to worry about the populations being killed off before you finish like a research project to turn them all into hive minds or something like that. Instead, it will just slowly alter the entire species population in your empire into a hive mind. Additionally, as I mentioned, the synthetic one also being there, the synthetic path will be able to use that to turn species in their empire into cyborgs or synthetics, depending on which ascension perk they currently are on. So, which in one of the side games I've played, that was a little bit of a problem. I had a bit of a problem where my cyborg species, I had a colony ship out with my cyborg species when I hit when my fully synthetic one went thing triggered. So I had a planet that was being colonized by what should have been my newly synthetic species, but was my old only cybernetic species. And yeah, so the assimilation will be helpful in that. And then finally, another thing that kind of relates to the hive mind, but is also going to be used in multiple ways, is tradition swapping. It will allow names and effects in the tradition trees to swap out based on government types, based on ethnicities, and among others, hive minds as well. The example that they've used a couple times and really makes a lot of sense is the tradition called that I have it actually right now, the transstellar corporations. Because as a hive mind, you wouldn't have corporations in your empire. You're a hive mind. It just doesn't make sense. So instead of having that, it would swap. They are planning to swap it out with a tradition that will reduce army upkeep, and they're going to be swapping out. They'll be swapping out entire trees or individual pieces, depending on certain depending on certain empires and whatnot. Like another example they gave is fanatical purifiers. They wouldn't want to. Their whole goal is that they want to kill off the galaxy, but they still have the domination tradition tree, which is specifically about conquering and ruling over other empires. Which for a fanatical purifier, that doesn't really make sense. So they'll be swapping out the entire tree for what they call the purity tree. And finally, they're also opening up the tradition swapping to modders, so that way modders can swap it in and out for whatever they choose. So if they like make a custom race and they want to change some of the trees around for their custom race, they can do that. And that is about it for the dev diary. Just the little hint for the next week is that they will be talking about voices or hearing voices. At any rate, voices will be involved. So my guess is that it will. What was that? My guess is that it will possibly involve the Shroud or some other event. And yeah, it should be quite interesting.
Agreed.
Woo! There we go. I don't know what happened, but better now. Okay, my mega fleet is going and taking on one of their void junctions. Well, currently I am also researching debris from the first major battle, which should give me matter disintegrator technology.
Nice.
You're fighting their portal?
No, not their portal. One of their smaller space stations.
Oh, not one of the anchors either.
No, the anchors are much bigger. The end of the month lag is really annoying. Maybe it is one of their anchors.
It says it's a void junction.
Never mind, it's not an anchor. Yeah, they have void junctions, but it wasn't but a dimensional anchor is like 90k fleet power.
Ships are beautiful.
Whose?
Void people, the unbidden. They die beautifully too. Have you ever looked at one of them closely when they die?
Not really.
They dissolve and there's a bright purple flash. It's very pretty.
I've been a little bit busy trying to actually kill them.
I am trying to build up fleet. Unfortunately, most of my fleet is still wormhole because I haven't had the currency to upgrade it.
While I have the resources to upgrade them, I don't have anything interesting to upgrade them to.
I think I'm going to have my fleet go after another small set of space stations. Try to see if I can smack around, try to smack down their territory, keep them from getting too large. See if I can do anything about that. Other things, I will also be continuously working on my sentry array over there. Yeah. Okay. Let's go see how it's doing. I've got about 82 days, and then I will have a level 2. Hey, another war has ended. Good. Maybe people will actually start paying attention to the giant, the giant death fleets that are flying around.
As being one of the farthest away from them, I hope you guys will slow them down long enough.
That is a great sentiment there. Very noble of you.
I plan to help eventually, just not quite there yet. Plus, thank you. I thought that was noble as well.
Ships upgraded.
How much influence do you get for having a vassal?
Oh, hey! Cerulean Alliance just vassalized a couple people. I lost another 6 Corvettes.
I wanted to vassalize the Prosnikan League. It actually makes more sense for them to be my vassal. They're in my borders.
Well, you didn't ask them quick enough.
They were in the middle of a war when I asked.
Hello, there's some military fleets over in the Kuma system.
The evangelizing zealots want to form a protective pact with me.
A defensive pact?
That's the word.
Hey, that's up to you, but I already have it. But I have a defensive pact with them, so. Alrighty. We are like incredibly focused on making sure those guys die. Oh, I almost have enough for that. Let's see. Where's my where are the trader enclaves? I'd like to trade for minerals. Still not enough. But I need to make sure. When do those run out? Oh, I have a while. I'll just wait till the end of the month for that one. And next month I will begin upgrading them. Quantum destabilizer. Okay, I'm having my fleet go after another set of, You know, actually, I just realized something.
What?
I realized it is currently, pointless for me to have the certain ship type the certain, Corvette class that I have. The fact that I have 2 Corvette classes. Mainly because they are remarkably similar, and one is only slightly cheaper, so I'm just going to, yeah, I'm just going to remove one of them completely, because there's no real point in it at the moment. Why does this have 60 versus 50? Yeah, that would do it. Still identical. Well, we'll just leave it for then. For now. All right, before I use up the minerals on that, I'm going to start upgrading my sentry array again. Yeah, my sentry range has quite a large coverage, but it's in the back of my empire. The point of it is, though, that once I finish upgrading it, then I just won't have to worry about it.
By the way, viewers, the sentry array that he's talking about is here in the caster system.
Yeah, if you were watching mine, you would have already seen me jump into it a few times and jump in and look at it a couple times. That said, I don't remember how many more. I don't remember how many more levels I need for it. Oh, sure, I'll take that. I'll take any resources these people will give me. I think
resources.
Some people are giving me resources for extra strategic. In return, I give them extra strategic resource I already have some of. I got Didn't I already have psionic shields? Or am I thinking of a completely... No, I'm pretty sure I already had psionic shields as an option. Oi. Am I right on that? Oh yeah, so the Tick Rules, who's commenting on it, the Sentry Array, once it's fully upgraded, does have galactic coverage. Before that, it just has a very large coverage, and as you upgrade it, it gets larger. I did not used to have coverage all the way across this, all the way up and down this arm on every point. Well, okay. I didn't have it. This is all just from the Sentry Array. So, and yeah, it does eventually reach all the way across the galaxy. It's just the final upgrade has it go from a very large amount to galactic. But in the meantime, it is, until I finish upgrading it, it is not as useful as it would have been if I had put it on the front line. Which, again, to be fair, I didn't think that we'd end up having to deal with a sudden, unbidden incursion. And here's my fleet. I'm renaming my fleet. So my main fleet is no longer simply called the First Pelagic Excursion. It is now known as the Grand Crusade.
Nice.
The crusade against the unbidden.
It's the Grand Crusade against whatever the heck I want.
So against the unbidden?
In this case, yes.
As of right now, yes. It is currently against the unbidden.
Hey, Diarmuid.
Yo.
I just want to let you know that Swarmlord is secretly allied with the unbidden. And he's going to turn on us.
But I'm the only one who's actually done some real damage to them.
It's all a ruse.
Yeah, there's only been one unbidden ship that hasn't been killed by me.
It's a really good ruse.
Yes.
It's funnier this way. You fiend!
How could you see through my clever disguise?
Curse your sudden but inevitable betrayal.
One of the best TV series ever. It's a travesty.
That is a... So
My opinion.
the Tick Rules has given an interesting comment. If right now it's supposed to be the anti-unbidden fleet, why shouldn't I name it just the Bidden Fleet?
Yes,
Hey.
Complete.
it is the bidden. You should rename your fleet to be the bidden.
Sure. You've been commenting on my videos for so long, and
he
I
deserves a little plug. Yeah.
yes. Once the game unfreezes. There we go. The Bidden Fleet. Wait. Didn't it... No, it didn't rename it?
Give it a moment.
The United
There we go.
Havarius Systems is sending a 6K fleet against the 1 million fleet.
People... I've been noticing people have just been chucking tiny fleets at that the whole time.
Which wouldn't be a bad thing if it was either continuous stream, so, you know, they were just constantly being pelted at, or they actually were big enough to deal even a ship's worth of damage.
Incoming transmission.
Yeah, if they were able to
Short one
actually...
of their ships, I mean.
Yeah, if they were actually able to hit the Unbidden hard enough that they lost...
The Beldress are asking me to join their federation.
Again?
Yes. I don't think I want to.
That is your prerogative. If you want to, go for it. If you don't, don't.
Okay. Am I lagging behind again?
No.
No, I'm not. Okay, my income just I just love watching it when it's like, okay, I'm gonna trade in for some minerals, and now that I've traded in for minerals, I have now gone from about 5,600 to about 800.
Are you also mineral deficient?
No, right now. I'm earning about 1,000 minerals a month.
783.
I am spending all of it, either on mega structures or
I
on
just need to
upgraded
get
vehicles.
mine back up a bit, so I'm not spending any unless I have to for a bit. I'm just trying to pay attention to what's going on, especially since I already have about 10 more cruisers in line to be built. Not cruisers.
I am losing
battlecruisers.
credits at 320 a month.
Ugh. See, I think part of the problem is that, again, I think one of the things that happens is that if you notice, a lot of your sectors are not really well built up.
And that kind of thing takes time for them to do themselves.
It takes a long amount of time to do by themselves because the AI really currently sucks at trying to place new buildings.
That's something that they need to work on for the AI.
Yeah, I mean, it's not so bad if you're telling it to respect the resource tiles and whatnot, but when it gets like a planet with a lot of empty squares, it'll kind of freeze on that planet for a while because it's like, well, what do I put on these squares?
True. And eventually it'll come up with something, but...
Yeah, eventually. Also, you might want to look at your sector tax rates. Make sure they're all at 75%.
Yep.
Then, good luck getting that fixed.
The Ixodar Star Collector wants me to join the Stellar Concord. Decline.
Oh, wow, that is...
At least I got a just got a research I wanted. Okay.
So that is currently 8, 9, 10. So I didn't need that. So I ended up with an extra one at some point. I think. Yeah. Okay. So the chick Willis has mentioned that since our sector taxes are at 75%, so Bernie Sanders. So the leader is your leader is Bernie Sanders.
Well, didn't Bernie advocate a 90% tax on the top 1% or something like that? No, we are not nearly as high taxing as Bernie.
Yeah. Well, I'm taxing at 75% across all my sectors, but all my sectors are making at least 100 of each resource after the tax. So my sectors have a lot of resources to spare. Although all my sectors are at an industrial focus, but I'm currently the resource I'm making the most of at the moment is food. I'm making like over 1.2k food versus 1k minerals and 1.1k energy. You know what? Where's the split button? Okay, stop. Split. Zoom out to hopefully keep this from... And split. And split. There we go. How much faster will that be? Instead of several years, it will be 2 years. Instead of like 5-something years. Well, check. So the tick rules responded to the responded back to you, Michael. Math. Ugh. Well, technically, he said he didn't think 90% was too high, so I don't know. Oh, what he does think is high enough. There isn't much higher to go.
Well, he could just take it all.
And he wouldn't probably think that's too unreasonable either. Wouldn't surprise me. As far as I've heard, he hasn't really worked at all in his life.
Let us stay away from
Fair enough.
politics in our
let's.
Well,
But I do think that Bernie Sanders is a good name for a governor for a planet or a sector.
you can you can rename your leaders, right?
I did not.
I didn't either.
Or at least you used to be able to. Yeah, you can still do it.
How? I'm not seeing.
Open up the leaders page, hover over their name, and it will say rename leader.
I'm deleting all of my.
Heck, you can even do it for your.
wormholes.
Oh no, you can't. That would have been cool.
Can I just like select all of my wormholes like this?
No, not at the moment. I wish there was an easy way just to say to get rid of all of them, because at the moment there's not really.
Even if it was something basic, like once it got rid of one, it gets rid of another, and another, and another, one at a time. At least start getting rid of them.
Yeah.
So you could put something else.
So I don't know if the unbidden have slowed down right now, or if they are, or if we've hit a lull point where they would have. I guess we'll see. I guess we'll see once we hit the end of the year if they get reinforcements. If they do, then we have a bit of a fight ahead of us, because I still need to actually better upgrade my fleet.
I do have good news.
Yes.
If there's nothing else in a galaxy, you can select the wormhole from the galaxy map. Sorry. If the wormhole is the only thing in a system, you can select it from the galaxy map.
How?
You draw a box around the system.
Huh? There is a new faction.
Where? What?
No, me.
Oh,
A new faction, like a new party in my thing.
yeah.
The Tilnesi Ascendancy Party.
I think that's the xenophobe party.
Well, it took forever for them to show up.
I clicked the wrong one, didn't I? Yep. Yeah, because I've had my
Yeah, it looks like they're xenophobes.
yeah, I've had the Uri Future Block, which is my xenophobe faction, and it's headed by an alien, headed by a non. Currently,
that's funny.
I'm just looking through it. Currently the only one. Let me see. My. Okay, this is my my materialist faction is currently headed by my High Inquisitor. My leader is currently the head of my materialist faction. I have another xenophobe faction that's headed by Uri, and
So basically, you have a pope that is also a heretic.
yes,
Construction complete.
That's funny.
well, High Inquisitor technically, but yeah. Okay, so the tick rules response to the conversation back is, I guess he hates himself? Question mark. Anywho, so next month is the end of the year. Hopefully, we will have eyes on the Kuma system. Probably not, given the fact that right now there is, yeah, I was like, there was like one person who had eyes on it from us, and that was one of my vassals had a Corvette in the system, and it got annihilated in about a second after hitting the the main fleet.
Oh yeah, first of the month. I was like, why isn't it work? Oh yeah, first.
Okay, let's. Couple more months, I will unlock the enigmatic decoder, which increases tracking and chance to hit. Oh!
Let's pause this.
The emergence of a threat on the galactic level has not gone unnoticed, even among the normally aloof precursor empires. Despite taking little interest in galactic affairs previously, news of this new horror has prompted a flurry of activity from the Pelismus. I'm guessing they're the, wait. Which one is this the spiritualist faction? No, this is the Xenophile faction. Okay. So, will they be able to save us, or we don't need that? We do not need them.
Eventually, we may not need them, but we could use them now.
Yeah, so we have another awakened empire.
Really
yeah, right. It's the empire that's right next to you and me, Diarmuid.
I'm just glad it's not the xenophobe one.
They wouldn't awaken in response to a crisis like that. They would have awakened when there might have been an awakening because we had the materialists woke up, but it most likely would have been the spiritualists, and B, I killed them before anything came of it.
I think it'd be a good thing for them to program xenophobes awakening due to a crisis and basically cheering on the crisis. This is our opportunity. We will finish everyone off. So, these are the people that have decided to fight the Unbidden.
Yep, they are right on. They are one of the two. They are the only one that I'm still next to. They're the only one that you are not next to, Math, because you're next to both the other ones.
Yep. These are the other two precursor empires.
Yeah. The protectors, who are actually on good terms with me, relatively speaking. And then the militaristic isolationist. Hello. Stellar Concord. The awakened empire has joined the Stellar Concord. Oh crap. Oh, is waiting for the awakened empire sending their fleet to fight the Unbidden, then smashing their undefended homeland an option? Yes, it is. That is how I won the that is actually remarkably similar to how I won the war against the previous awakened empire. The materialists who were over in this corner went after the spiritualists on the opposite end of the galaxy. And when their fleets were away and fighting, I sent my fleets in the back door and blasted their planets. In the end, they didn't have anything. They didn't have a chance to bring their fleets back before I conquered them.
It was a Pyrrhic victory for them.
Yep. So it is very likely that if I so wished, I could backdoor these this awakened empire when they are at war with the Unbidden. That's if their fleets are actually capable of taking on the Unbidden. If I recall, the awakened empire's fleets were while big, they were about 200k. It's possible that these guys will have a bigger fleet because they have more territory, but it's also possible that that might not be the case. Okay. Right. The new year went by a little while ago, and I haven't seen any new Unbidden fleets. I mean, it might simply be that we just haven't seen them, or they've gone elsewhere. But it's also possible that they didn't have a new fleet, or that they will spawn, or that they don't spawn at the beginning of the year, but on the every year after they showed up. Taking a look. Oh man, as soon as I finish I'm gonna finish the enigmatic decoder since I'm already on it, but then I'm going for matter disintegrators. Matter disintegrators are awesome. And I think they're even better than, I think they're the best non like large level non-large level weapon. If only because, well, maybe not straight up the best, but at the very least they do ignore like half armor and half of shields.
That is pretty awesome.
So depending on how it's calculated, that means theoretically, like on every shot, about 25% of the damage goes past any half the damage bypasses shields, and half of that bypasses any dealing. So 25% of it does full damage to them to their hull with every shot. If I'm right, I don't actually know because I don't actually know the calculations behind that. Why haven't I gone after that fleet? Why didn't I go after that fleet?
Because you're crazy? I don't know.
I no longer have wormhole generators.
Yeah, looks like it. Congratulations on finally upgrading to jump drives. And I still partially No, not really. I won't continue with that. I was gonna say I still partially blame you for this. Because if you recall, within a couple of years of you getting jump drives, suddenly the Unbidden showed up.
Yeah, but you had them for a long time. So I think it was just a matter of time.
A matter of time that you made happen faster.
Really? Is that how it works?
Well, it is part. I don't know if it's if it speeds it up per empire or not.
So
I mean the part of the problem is that half of the stuff I look up for it is from the wiki,
and the wiki's out of date.
And the wiki is, well, more or less consistently falling out of date because, yeah,
of how quickly they update.
Yeah, they update they update often enough that the wiki just never really gets a chance to catch. Right. The tick rules: matter disintegrators bypass half of shields and reduce their armor damage resistance by half. So, I was correct.
Thank you for the tick rules. I think that the tick rules. Rules.
Yes, he does.
He seems nice enough.
Anywho, a fleet is still upgrading. Well, most of it's upgrading. And about 6 months until I finish the enigmatic decoders and start finishing up matter disintegrators. But yeah, I think so. I think as of the current update, I think the Unbidden give the most useful tech out of all the crises. I think the Praetorian Swarm. I don't remember if the Praetorian Swarm got a buff, though. The tick rules continued. Of course, the unbidden ships have no armor, so I've seen them get spanked by kinetic artillery and Gauss weapons. That would be correct. That Gauss. I can never pronounce it right. That would be why I have the majority of my ships equipped with why does this? I have a single missile launcher. That's why I have the majority of my ship equipped with mostly kinetic weaponry, because kinetics are the best. The unbidden. The kinetics being the best against the unbidden, and energy weapons being the best against the Praetorian Scourge is. It's just, yeah, it's been the way it has been. It has been the way it has been since they were first introduced. That's an interesting side note. The main unbidden fleet is not regenerating, as far as I can tell. It doesn't look like they're regenerating. Oh! New fleet just popped into existence.
Crap.
Luckily, it's a 240k fleet.
Well, at least that's more handleable.
Yep. The tick rules, the Praetorians give super missile and fighter tech. I do know that they do give a missile tech and a fighter tech. I just also remember that at least a little while, the last time I saw them, their missile tech and fighter tech were surpassed by the end level fighter and missile tech, with the possible exception of the fighters, because they still bypassed more armor or something like that. That said, I have not seen the Praetorian Scourge again for a while, since I think it was actually since our last stream game where we ran into them. I don't think I've seen them since that game.
Wow, that was a little while ago.
Yeah, so I don't know if there has been changes and they have made the missile tech and fighter tech even better, or if they are still a lot more, or if they're still surpassed by regular end tech. That said, depending on when they show up, they can still give you a decent boost for quite some time. Okay, I've got about half of my fleet upgraded. How much longer is this one going to take? Another year. Another year to finish upgrading my fleet currently. Probably just in time for another upgrade. Where is this fleet going? Is this fleet going anywhere, or are they not? Or are they just pattering around? That said, once my fleet upgrades, I'm wondering if it might be, since with my fleet being nearly upgraded, I'm wondering if it might be better to not spend research on the matter disintegrators and simply rely on more debris to finish them off, since from what I saw, it is actually pretty close. So the tick rules response to the whether or not the Praetorians tech was altered was last he heard they just modified their fleet strengths and spawn rates, and he doesn't know if the tech was modified. And that was the last I heard of them as well, so that is why I have gone under the assumption that the tech has not been modified. But I do know about the fleets being modified. They used to only have like 40k, 90k fleets. And on a huge, I think the fleet changes came around the same time the Unbidden got buffed for fleet-wise, because of the same reasons. In huge galaxies, the crises came and usually was stomped as soon as they showed up. Simply because with a huge galaxy, you could end up with empires like me, where even without fully utilizing our naval capacity, I'm still breaching 200k. And as such, they needed to make it more challenging, make it more necessary. Either the galaxy works together, or huge empires fully devote themselves to defeating the unbidden or the crisis in general. I just asked for the wrong resource. So you finished integrating that one empire, Math.
Yep.
I only noticed because your the Mangeti assembly symbol suddenly shifted and caught my eye. Another suicide attempt on the portal. Has this guy even done anything yet?
The Unbidden?
No, the Awakened Ascendancy. Since he's awoken, I haven't seen any of his ships end up there.
He offered a trade deal to me. So
that's a trade. Yeah, that's obviously showing that he's going to murder the Unbidden. The tick rules. Yeah, that screwed XP gamers last season. He was playing 1.4, which apparently didn't modify Awakened Empires to galaxy size. They awakened and quickly popped out 500k military strength. Yeah, as it is, it's definitely trying to speak. I can't figure out why I can't speak. Definitely, the adjustments to galaxy size definitely made things better or worse depending on how you like to play and various other bits and pieces. As we saw the last several games, we had the crises. The crises, while it might have chewed up a large portion of the galaxy, was never really a threat. Whereas in this one, it's been relatively contained, but at the same time, we don't have the strength to do anything about it.
If they were to start actually trying to destroy everything, there'd be little we could do at the moment.
Yeah. So, and I guess it was the same thing with fallen empires and awakened empires. I think it's they were adjusted down. I believe they for the most part were adjusted down in strength, depending on the galaxy size. Huge might still have gotten a buff, but like smaller galaxy sizes now, awakened empires are a lot less powerful than they used to be, if I recall correctly. Again, it's been a while since I've looked through several of the older dev diaries. maybe sometime
really?
in. I look at some of the newer ones. I look at some of the newer ones on stuff that's coming out, but on stuff that's been released, I haven't looked back on in a long while. Or was that not what you were exclaiming about, Dear Mood?
No, I was exclaiming about something else. Don't worry about it.
What happened?
I made a trade deal with him.
You should have gotten a lot more.
Who should have gotten a lot more? What?
He offered me monthly living metal for 101 energy credits.
It was 101 energy credits a month.
Oh crap.
For 30 years.
Okay.
Oh no, I set it up wrong.
I was like, wait. I'd be going to negatives then. I was hyperventilating for a second.
You done goofed.
Well, yeah. It wasn't like it was nefarious, though. I thought, oh, I'll just throw this out there as an offer, and if he doesn't like it, then he doesn't have to say yes.
And you screwed it all up.
We both screwed it up. I said yes when I thought it was just 101. Then the moment the month is like, wait, crap. But he said, wait, I screwed it up. I was like, whoo.
So the Tick rules responded. A few days ago, he saw an awakened empire get smacked, but whoever did it knew what he was doing. He baited them into awakening and instantly destroyed their one fleet, and then invaded their defensive list planets.
Nice.
Yep. I mean, if you know how to, I mean, it's you. There are a few rules that definitely will trigger an awakening, and when they immediately awake, it's not like their fleet power immediately changes. So it is, I think. I am saying I think a lot today.
There's no problem with thinking. It only makes smoke come out your ears. It's only bad for the environment.
Yeah, but so if you get rid of their fleets early on, if you get rid of their huge fleet early on, yeah, it can be quite nice to pick them apart, get their territory. Or friends that play Stellaris, what he likes to try and do is he likes to try and set up a war in heaven whenever he can. Set up for two awakened empires to immediately start duking it out, and then he'll come in and he'll swoop in and pick up the pieces afterwards.
I'm reading a webcomic that is very much like Stellaris.
Really?
Yeah, it's called Drive. I forget the author of the comic, but if you type in Drive webcomic, it should come up. And they have what's it called before they awaken? They're called
Fallen
Empire. Yeah, they have a Fallen Empire in this comic, and we're just now meeting them.
Cool. Yeah. So the Tick rules mentioned that he said that he likes the War in Heaven mostly for the excessive Babylon 5 references. I will admit, when they first started showing the references in the dev diaries, I was chuckling, loving it so much. I actually enjoyed watching Babylon 5 when I was younger. Went back a couple of years ago and rewatched the series because my dad managed to get a hold of the episodes, so I haven't
seen it.
I felt it was pretty good. It was there are parts of it that are dated, true, but it was a lot. But it wasn't afraid to ask a lot of questions, put things out there, and it was fairly. I don't say it was also fairly philosophical in several ways. Some of the, the fallen empires of the Babylon 5 of the Babylon 5 area, the Vorlons and the Shadows. Their whole point was that they wanted to guard the younger races based on their own ideologies, and came down to and easiest way to break down their philosophies was with a core question each. Who are you for the Vorlons, and what do you want for the Shadows? So, and yeah, it was pretty interesting. And I mean, the Shadows didn't show up for quite some time. The Vorlons were there from the get-go, but in the end, in the end of their war in heaven, it was still the Vorlons were still throwing their weight around and basically trying to control how the galaxy was to move along, how they were how things were supposed to go in the galaxy, and part of the show was were people standing up to both groups and
Transmission.
what.
Join the Stellar Concord?
I accidentally hit agree.
You
It's not
monster.
a huge deal. It's just a crap.
You monster.
Why?
Well, on the plus side, now someone will have to attack the awakened empire for them to attack you.
Which is useful.
Considering that you are that you are one of the weaker of. Well, okay, you're the
I'm in the
game
top
calculation.
tier.
Oh yeah, you are now. You're the top non-awakened precursor empire, non-crisis empire,
Other than you, of course.
yeah, other than me. The tick rules adding on to Babylon 5. The shadows smack the galaxy around every 1,000 years to force evolution. Vorlons were pure order and do what we say. Reference. Yeah, I guess I'd forgotten that. That's true. Let's actually get that. But yeah, order versus chaos. And again, the philosophy of who are you versus what do you want. And yeah, it was a good show. I'd recommend if you get a chance to see it, you should see it. Matt, since we're still apartment buddies, if you ever want to see it, just let me know, and I can get my dad to help me pull up the episodes.
Oh, I'd like that. Then maybe during Stellaris playthroughs we can talk about the episodes we watched that week.
Sounds like fun. Okay, I'm gonna actually start integrating this guy. The tick rules. When you think about it, the shadows were basically Apocalypse from the X-Men universe. I have to say I have not actually seen the latest X-Men movies. I kind of fell off the bandwagon, right? I think the last one I saw was the first one that went back in time.
Days of Future Past?
The one with the Cuban Missile Crisis.
Days of Future Past, yeah.
Yeah, that I think was the last one I saw. So.
Yeah, that was the last one that I saw too. And I missed a few of them before that one. But I loved the scene with Quicksilver on that.
That generally tends to be everyone's favorite scene, which I don't blame them.
I was about to say, my borders are about to expand, guys, as a heads up. But it just happened, so... Diermud, you might not...
Systems that are not connected to their sectors?
That... Sorry.
You punk.
I told you my borders were about to expand. I had to choose a new tradition tree, and the one I chose was supremacy, which when you open it up gives you plus 20% border range. And oh jeez. My borders are huge, and I can see the planet that Math was talking about. The Mang system is disconnected. Is technically disconnected now. It is no longer a part of. It is no longer directly connected to the.
You cut the Talon system off from me.
That happened a while ago. I've had that one for a while.
Yeah, but I also lost Jugrad and Tirzom Like, you're taking all of my mineral income away.
I hope that's not all your mineral income.
I went from having a 320 deficit to a 380 deficit.
Okay, again, the talent system, not my fault on that one, because that one happened several streams ago, I think. It's partially because the Mang system being cut off from its sector causes problems with its maintenance costs.
Yeah, I think...
Disconnect it from the sector.
I did.
And it should, and yeah, that should help.
I'm looking to see if there's anything else that got disconnected. I think that's the only thing that was disconnected.
I think... How long will it take for that? 13 months. Let's go for that. Get a little more governing ethic attraction, hopefully. I don't have any Zero Dust, do I? Or do I have Zero Dust and I just don't know about it yet? I don't remember if I got the research. I don't think I've gotten Zero Dust research.
Research complete.
Yeah, it doesn't look like I've gotten Zero Dust research, which means that that would be part of why my trips into the Shroud are a little more expensive than I would have thought. Okay. Anyway, I need to start building ships again.
You have dark matter drawing as a resource?
Yes. Almost did it again. I wish the Merchant Guild would let you trade food.
That would be convenient.
I have this system that has 5 planets in it, and I've upgraded all of the, or 5 inhabitable planets in it. And I've upgraded all of the starports to top level, so now I can click on that system and divide up all of my build jobs 5 ways without having to, like, go search for things.
I kind of have something similar with the, it's only 4, but I mean, the Beacon of Infinity system has 4 inhabitable planets, technically, because, you know, Ringworld.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That new fleet is sitting in there with the million fleet power. Fleet. It's technically 1,300,000. Okay, that was a weird sound. Can I? Is there nothing I can say to those guys? Oh, hey, Psionic. Are you from the Shroud? The Shroud, we know of it. It is close to where we come from. Very close. So yeah, the Unbidden are not quite from the Shroud, but they are like...
You can talk to the Unbidden?
You can, I mean, you can open up a screen, a diplomacy screen with them, but you can't say much to them before, and
like
they'll
if
just...
I do it, they'll only give an option or two.
Yeah, it only gives a couple options. I just have a second one because I'm psionic.
Yeah, I guess it's view screen off, tell us about yourself, help us understand you, which is my Xenophile option, and my spiritualist option was asked, do you come from a higher plane of existence?
Yeah. Since I'm an awakened psionic race, I can actually ask them if they are from the Shroud, and they said
when I asked to understand you, it says, understand this, you are food. I'm just like, oh crap.
Oh, hey, I didn't realize my fleet power has breached 300k.
Darn you.
And I'm building more ships now. And that's not including the fact that currently... so apparently the tick rule has mentioned that when the psionics also have a unique option when it comes to the Prothean Scourge.
Wait, who does?
Psionics have a unique option when it comes to talk. It's just like the Unbidden, the Scourge have you can technically talk to them. Oh, hold on. I opened up communication with them, and they said it has been touched by the Shroud. They actually know I've actually been in communication with the Shroud. But yeah, the Prothean Scourge have a similar sort of situation. It's just that the Scourge you just straight up can't understand. And apparently psionics have a unique conversation option with them as well.
Yeah, so,
Ooh, 65 days, and then I will finish the Sentry Spire on my Sentry Array. Ooh, it is so close. See, I think I only need 8,000 for everything, and even then, it's going to be some time before either of those are done. So he says they basically say is they are fleeing a race called the Hunters, and they need to eat you to refuel their exodus. So you can actually, oh my gosh, that's cool, and that's actually kind of terrifying if you think about it.
kind of like the Nihilanth from Half-Life.
The point is, if the Prothean Scourge are a galactic crisis, but they are fleeing something, holy crap, that sounds terrifying. And that sounds like it will be an amazing, that could be a potentially amazing update for Stellaris. I mean, what if you actually run into those hunters in an update?
Scary, considering the fleet power of these things.
If the Scourge is running from them,
Yeah, seriously. Of those things, yeah.
and they think that it's fine to devour your galaxy, what are they running from? Oh my gosh, just... Oh man. Okay, about 8 days before I've upgraded before I've added the Sentry Spire, and we'll see if that's the last upgrade or if I need one more. 3, 2, 1. Okay, one more upgrade, and then I will have the fully upgraded Sentry Array. I need to add in the Sentry Aerials. Aerials. Am I pronouncing that right?
Maybe.
Spell it again.
Aerials.
Aerials?
Maybe.
Okay, so everyone
I'm terrible at verbal spelling. Like, it's very hard for me to hear the spelling of something. Just say the spelling of something.
Right now, I'm working to try and get
Oh!
Zro dust, or Zro, whatever it's called. This is Zro.
Zro, it's a type of dust, so you can call it
Gene
Zro.
tailoring, finally. And
Gene
battleship assembly yards.
Wait, oh. The ability to modify your race.
Yeah, genetic modification, environment adaptation.
So, yep, I am now upgrading my Sentry Array to its last upgrade. In a couple of years, I will then be able to see anywhere in the galaxy. And for those of you watching, you can see the range has upgraded. It used to only barely reach like this area right here. Now it's at that. So yeah, it is definite. It definitely covers a fair amount of space. It's just that, again, because of where I put it, it's not actually covering anything. But once I upgrade it, then it will, once it finishes the upgrade, I'll be able to see anywhere. And then I can focus on another mega structure. Possibly the science one, but possibly also Dyson Sphere. Dyson Spheres can give up to 400 energy once fully upgraded.
That's cool.
And if you have the time and minerals, you can make several of them.
Wish that there were a Dyson Sphere for minerals.
You can make it. You could make a ring world and just fill it with nothing but
I want the tech that lets me build the mega structures.
Mega engineering?
Yeah.
If you can, get a hold of a curator scientist and put them in your engineering slot. They are much more. It is much more likely to show up like that.
Is there a way to send food to a sector?
To a sector? No. Sectors don't have their own food stockpiles. It just tells you what the income of the sector is. How much of that particular resource they are giving you. So if it has like plus... If it has plus 75, that means that means it's making 75 extra food. If it's minus 100, that means it is pulling 100 food from your global income. I'm just feeding my some of my sectors some more minerals because they're still building. And another one of my sectors is building as well, but it's building at a much better rate because it's earning like 600 on its own. Oh, hey, if the Praetorians invade from that corner, I'll see them from years. So for the tick rules, on that, the one crisis only, we actually have a mod that we have two mods in this game. One that modifies the UI so that way it works better for larger screens like ours. But the other mod we have is specifically a mod that allows for multiple crises. So it is very possible that we will end up having the Praetorian Scourge show up. Do I have no governors? Oh, I do not have governors on all my planets. No, on the planets that I have direct control over, I currently have no governors. Do I have... I just couldn't spare the leaders, but I can't really spare the leaders. I have far too many leaders for that. I do have governors over all the sectors. And the main reason I have so many scientists is because I put my extra science ships in orbit around planets to specifically give at bonus happiness. I was giving bonus happiness around these planets so that the materialist empire I absorbed wouldn't hate my guts. And the other planets I have direct control over are all right next to my home system anyway. That said, I don't need him over here anymore. Let's continue the deal. He needs to go missing in action because he got stuck there somehow. How did he get stuck there? Yes, I can finally. I'm finally able to look for Zero dust. Oh, that'll be nice. Increase FTL speed and increase sensor range. Plus, it also, the more Zero you have, the cheaper it is to reach into the shroud.
I noticed it was psionic based, so that makes sense.
And I have like a little bit more time before my last trade deal runs out, and I need to spend some money for it. Like, yeah, a couple days. Armor torpedoes is done. We'll go straight for level 3 torpedoes. Just bypass shields entirely. Username Sheen. Okay, extending the deal. So, enter to the tick rules. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's basic. They might have been basing it off of the Element 0 from Mass Effect. It really looks very similar. To username Sheen Velargian. How are we going to handle the Unbidden? Well, right now, mainly building up fleets, taking out their smaller fleets, and then eventually, hopefully, all of us that hopefully we'll have enough fleet power between at least the 3 of us, if not galaxy-wide, to hit their million fleet. And if not, I did notice that they weren't repairing earlier in the stream. If that is still holding true, it would probably not go super well, but it might be possible to jump in, take out chunks of their million K fleet, and jump back out. That said, that one's going to be if we can't figure anything. I'm only going to go with that if we can't figure anything else out. To the tick rules, yeah, I'm surprised that they haven't moved as much since... I am very surprised. The last time I saw them make an aggressive action was when was at the end of the last stream when I took on their one fleet that came after my my vassal over here, and they didn't do anything. So I don't know if it's a bug, if there is, or if whatever is causing, or what. But something is keeping them from moving at the moment. That said, that does make it easier for us to actually, have a shot at beating them. But yeah, we will find out. And it might be that if we go after that, it might be that going after their dimensional anchors will screw things up. It might be that the mod I mentioned, the multiple crisis mod, has caused a bit of trouble, or it might just be that something's wrong. Oh, Sheen Bale. Sorry about mispronouncing your last name, Sean. My apologies. If you've been as you have seen on this stream, we are not all very good at verbal pronunciation.
Speak for yourself.
Oh, you. The tick rules. So, they do in fact have a couple anchors up. They have one anchor in this system that is currently otherwise unguarded. And they have an anchor in this system which has a 464K fleet in the system. So, as of right now, there is not much we can do on going after the anchor. I need to work on building up my fleet power, but after building up my fleet power some more, it is possible that me and Diermud, who has like 100K fleet power. Math, where are you sitting on fleet power?
35K.
Okay, so it's possible that after I finish building up a bit more, that me and Diermud will be able to go and take on that fleet. Math,
Mine's still building.
Yeah, but I mean, I have like 300K.
10 to 15 carriers in queue. Battleships, sorry.
battleships, carriers. I mean, it depends on how you build them.
They're my carrier class battleships.
Yeah, because I have a combination. I have the Seraphim class and the Archon class. Seraphim being the carriers, Archon being the ones with the Giga cannons.
I don't even have Giga Cannons. I'm trying to get those, but it won't give me the next tech I need to hopefully unlock the Mega Cannon.
Yep.
Which I believe is the Gauss Cannon, the level 5. Once I get that, I should be able to do the Mega Cannon. But I have less than a year until I get my next research for that, so we'll find out.
Yeah, well. Yes, Yep. So right now I'm currently building up my fleet, and after that is done, I plan on going in and taking on another one of their small fleets, taking on their other small fleet and finishing it off. After that, replace the forces I lost and rush and hit one of their otherwise unguarded anchor. Try to see if getting rid of that will how they'll react to that. As it is, also it will be a little bit of time before I could ever beat this fleet. For those watching my stream, this fleet right here. For those who are not watching, if either of you guys could look at the far right side of the Beldross Star Dynasty, the Beldross Star Dynasty has a fleet in one of their systems that is sitting there doing nothing. And I eventually plan to
wipe them out.
Yeah, but unfortunately, because it is in a territory of a person who has closed their borders to me, I can't do anything about it at the moment. And in response, the Tick rules. Yes, I agree. The fact that this guy has awakened and has done absolutely jack squat is quite inspiring.
Well,
that has been my experience with like every empire who has woken up to fight a crisis. Every empire I've ever seen that has woken to fight a crisis has done practically nothing, unless the crisis is like right on the door. That said, they might not have open. Well, no, they have supposedly open borders with everyone, so I don't know why their fleets are not doing anything. That said, Diermood, you actually can see in their territory, correct?
Which territory?
The Awakened Empire.
Which one?
The Awakened Empire.
Oh,
the Peacekeepers.
Yeah.
Is their fleet sitting in their territory? Where, is there?
Crap!
What?
They have a 500k fleet hanging out.
There we have it. The Awakened Empire.
Oh, that's total, by the way. They no. It's 562,000k. 562k.
Yeah, they are doing so much to help the galaxy.
Well,
they could actually fight most of the crisis fleets.
They're just trying to figure out which way to take. Should they go this way or that way?
It's a giant debate that's been
spanned years.
For years.
Yeah.
Do we take the right path or do we take the left path?
I don't know.
Did you ever hear about the Indiana Pie Bill?
No.
So it happened in like, I don't know, around 1900, maybe like a little before, a little after, but some guy had written, like, he created a journal, like a research journal, like a, and then he wrote an article about why the currently accepted value of pi is wrong, and published it in his own journal. And then he went to the Indiana legislature and said, hey, look, Indiana can be the first state to get on board with the correct value of pi, which is, in this paper here at this journal that's really reputable. And they actually were going to vote to have the value of pi changed in the state of Indiana.
Oh dear.
So I reached into the shroud and got absolutely nothing.
So, I'm betting it's something like that. The peacekeepers are like, they're just stuck in congressional gridlock.
Yeah. So, I guess I might as well mention this here. So, Sean, the username Sean, is actually a friend of mine. Who was watching our videos, and he mentioned one of the games we played on an Awakened Empire. And how much of a disappointment it was. We actually played it. Was it last night? It might have been last night. I think it was technically no. No, it was technically this morning. Late last night, early this morning, and there was a custom we had a mod that allowed more empires, and we ended up with a fallen empire called the Soul Imperium. It awakened, went on a bit of a rampage, attacked the fallen empire, beat the fallen empire, and then proceeded to lose to a coalition of regular empires.
The peacekeepers keep asking me for trade deals. Like, I've gotten 4 of them so far. 3 or 4 of them so far.
Hmm.
You'd think that they'd trade with Diarmuid, because he's right there.
You would think.
Yeah, but
Evidently, they like you better.
and I haven't even heard from them since they woke up. However, they apparently are colonizing. I clicked on their thing just like as I was saying that they hadn't contacted me, and I saw the number on their screen jump from 10 to 11. So they are colonizing. They are doing something, even if it's like nothing important. Yeah, I'm looking at these fleets that are guarding the wormhole, and they're not doing anything. Or they're not doing any. They're not doing anything. But more than that, when they take damage, they are not healing.
Well, that makes it slightly easier for us.
Yeah, that means we don't have to beat it in one shot. We just have to whittle them away. Oh, good. I got a couple more years before my sentry array is up. I've got about a year's left of Curator Insight. 16 months until I get Zero Dust. The tick rules, who sent in the 7K fleet? That would be the United Havariga Systems, this large blue empire right here.
I want to fight them. I want to be able to. But it's one of the few people I can't beat. They have a defensive pact with Swarmlord.
Yes.
Why do you have a defensive pact with them?
Because they really like me. They're one of the few empires that legitimately likes me, and it's not like I didn't bribe them to it. I didn't force them under my rulership. They just like me. Mainly because we have mutual rivals, and because we're both spiritualists. In fact, actually, if my empire was played by a computer player, my empire would be the same personality type as his, evangelizing zealots. So, quite literally, his empire would be the most like mine if we played it, if it had played along the if I had been playing along my personality type.
I am just about at 40k. My fleet.
Congratulations.
121k.
21?
121.
I am at 340k, and I'm currently still building some battleships.
I just, before I upgrade them too much more, before I start adding more to my fleets, I need to work on my energy credit income because I'm sitting in the negatives. Negative 45 income. I still have just over 10,000. So it's going to be a little while before it becomes a big issue, but I need to work on it. Which I am constantly, but it's going slowly.
I don't know why I keep clicking on the wrong. I keep clicking on to start to ask them for the wrong mineral type of
Resource.
I keep going and clicking and nearly asking them to give me energy credits.
I'll give you energy credits.
I don't need energy credits. There we go.
Ships upgraded.
I have now queued up another set of battleships, cruisers, and destroyers. The only thing I'm not adding more to is my corvettes because I have 270 corvettes. I hate how they always auto-put the, They always end up auto-putting the energy torpedoes instead of the armor torpedoes because it does twice as much damage when it hits shields, so it's obviously better. But as far as I can tell, I mean, it tends to be. I see it as being. It does less damage overall because it only does twice as much damage against shields, whereas but regular torpedoes do more damage and ignore shields, or 100% shield penetration. However, that works. So yeah. I agree.
I have something to announce to you two, Stormlord and Dearmood.
What's up?
The Mathemagician and I finished building the Taj Mahal on our
Nice.
Very nice.
on the server. Yeah, it's pretty cool. So now we are looking to build something new.
Yeah. Let's see, I just have bomber. There we go. All right, and I now have 2 new worlds opened up. So yeah, the tick rules mentioned that against the unbidden bypassing torpedoes are his usage. What he said specifically was they are downright sexy. And yeah,
I mean,
definitely.
Whatever.
Hey,
Whatever
I
gets your
agree.
engine running. I'm weird. Leave me alone.
But yeah,
Dang it! I didn't get the research I wanted.
oh, that sucks.
Yeah. Oh well. Right now, I'm just going for the cheapest one possible till I get what I want. So hopefully, I can get to it quicker.
Oh, someone just died.
None of them are particularly quick. It's not like 10 months until you get this. It's all like 20 months, 30 months,
Who
40
just died?
months.
Oh, one of my scientists died. Oh, A couple. Hey, remember the Mengeti being psionic?
Yes.
Yeah.
I now have a psionic Mengeti scientist.
That's great.
That is.
Or I should. There he is. He is also an expert in the study of psionics. I need to figure out where the Mengeti are in my empire. They are on 6 planets. Can I see one of those planets? Well, I guess I can look it up the old-fashioned way. That being scroll through the entire list.
Wait. For me, it says that you have 2 Mengeti, and you have 19 Neo-Mengeti Mutatus.
Yep, those are the ones that,
Or psionic?
yes.
Okay.
They're not on that list, so second list, go.
You have Super Jehetma as...
Yep.
You don't have any Jehetma.
No, because I absorbed their entire race before they awakened, so... Okay.
Your main species is not... Like, your original species is not even a plurality of your population. Like, my main species,
Upgraded.
I think it's still, yeah, my main species is still a majority.
Yeah, mine's 19%. That's still a large portion of the population. I mean, there's only a couple blocks that are bigger. There's only 2 blocks that are bigger specifically. The Super Jehetma and the Ogi Nolax, which I absorbed both their races a while back. So, and that's only because, you know, they colonize different planet classes. It's one specifically, the Super Jehetma were the cold class, and the Ogi Nolex were the warm class, whereas I was the wet class. So I went for all the tropical, continental, and oceanic. They went for the other 2 types. It just so happened that in the areas I could colonize, there were not quite enough of the other ones. Yermud, are you focusing on colonizing to try and connect your territory back up again?
Yes, I have been. Has it worked? Not quite.
It's continuing the Ashipso system on the very edge of your main territory used to be under my control. So you're pulling your...
Actually, I already have a colony ship heading towards that system. I'm going to colonize the planet on that system, and that should connect them. Or might, at least.
Well, I officially have 40k.
Congratulations. You were pathetic.
Actually, I think it's closer to 45.
It is... when I hover over it, 40k.
Yeah, but I have other ships that are all
Oh.
eating it.
Oh, yeah, if you... I guess that would definitely change it up a bit.
Yeah. I have 7 battle groups that are connecting up with it.
Yeah.
I wish I could do a monthly, set up a recurring trade with the trade people.
You mean on the
Trade Enclave?
I mean, you can do it for their resources, their strategic resources, but if you're talking about non-strategic resources, yeah, there's not much you can do. After I build these, I'm going to need to pull my fleet out of orbit and see where I am in terms of income, because I'm now under 1,000K in energy credits, and that's kind of scaring me, considering that the only reason I was over 1,000K was because my main fleet was parked somewhere. Actually, it might be a good idea for me to just take it out of orbit now and see where I end up. It dropped me about 400 income.
Wow.
That's pretty crazy.
And now I'm moving it back into orbit because, among other things, I need to upgrade. Again. How long will this upgrade cost? Several years. We are just going to stop because I don't want that upgrade just yet. It's not important enough. The only reason I'm just waiting for my new ships to finish.
Give me what I want. I want more energy to build. More monthly energy credits.
Alright, time to talk to one of the curators and tell him, yes, I would like aid in my research. Yes, I am aware of future people the future of my citizens will be like, that was a good move. It has been a good move for the entire time I've been doing it.
You know, if we formed a federation, we would win.
Yeah, I know.
What's the fun of be doing that right now?
I'm just saying that we now have enough
We'll keep
planets.
that in our back pocket just in case we want to end it quickly.
We have enough planets that if we formed a federation, we would automatically win.
We just leveled up. Someone just leveled up. My High Inquisitor? Your leader can gain levels.
Yep.
I did not know that.
Well, I mean, like, with the techs that lead to basically immortal leaders,
Incoming
what happened?
transmission.
Like, it wouldn't really be a good idea to have a leader that can't ever level up. You know.
Hello, someone just opened their territory. Someone just opened borders. Oh, the Cerulean Alliance just opened borders with me.
Math Jazz, what do you need?
What do I need?
Energy credits, minerals, what?
I need minerals. I always need minerals.
Who over here is not a part of it? So far, I think the only guy who is not a part of the Federation is the Beldross, who I don't know why they haven't done anything. They kind of need support, considering they had a huge chunk of their territory just wiped out by the Unbidden. And the guy who I've got a defensive pact with. I think everyone else is either a fallen empire, a vassal, or a member of the Stellar Concord. So me, Math, the United Hevigarians, I can't pronounce that, my ally, and the Beldross are the only ones who are still independent in the galaxy.
is someone at my door.
Incoming transmission.
You want to go get it? You want me to go get it?
I'll be back soon. Oh no, one of the other roommates got it.
You took the deal. I wasn't sure if you would.
Are you guys trading a whole bunch behind?
No, just one.
Well, there's the earlier one.
the mistake. You gave 30 years of a strategic resource for 101 energy credits. How much longer before this is done? This will be done in a year. 1 year, and I will be able to see anywhere in the galaxy. And then I can start on another mega structure. Which I think I'm going to go for a Dyson Sphere because I'm a little worried about my energy income. Only a little, but a little is still enough.
Swarmlord, if you look at my systems, you'll see I just made an acquisition.
Oh, you managed to get the last of the unclaimed territory.
10,000 minerals for that system.
You what?
I gave Matthias 10,000 minerals for the...
Oh.
How do you pronounce that?
Ojlars?
Or Oijars?
Yeah,
Whatever it is.
10,000 minerals.
Ojlars?
Hey, it's your choice.
I'm not regretting it. I guess, like I told him when he got it, that's one I was planning on taking.
Yeah,
Because
math
it
is
needs so
very
much.
oddly spread out for
And it also
especially for a
puts me
democracy.
Right at the United Happen, it's just however you pronounce them. It puts me right next to
My ally.
Yeah, it puts me right next to them. So if I decide to,
If you decide to go to war with them, you realize also you'll be going to war with me, and I can stomp everyone except for your largest ally. And you gotta also remember that your largest ally. Heck yes, I'll take that deal.
What
I'm not
deal?
suggesting anytime soon, but it was part of my plans anyway.
He just gave me a bunch of energy credits, some minerals, and a strategic resource for 2 strategic resources I have multiples of.
You really didn't do much with these systems, but to be fair, you guys have a lot more than me, so it's hard to just focus on trying to get them ready.
Well, if you're talking about math, yeah, he hasn't been. We've already established that he hasn't been doing much. That's probably why he has such a deficit in resources.
I threw them all into sectors.
Well, it's not that you threw them all into sectors. It's that you didn't. It's that you colonized massive amounts all at once, and threw them all immediately into sectors. In my case, I ended up conquering most of mine, so I already had kind of an established area, and even then, throwing in the colonization on the new planets into there came back to bite me when I started running low on food for quite some time. That said, again, you still need sectors, but it can be quite a bit of a pain. Throwing in a whole bunch of uncolonized planets tends to cause problems. Tends to be a big drain on your resources for quite some time. Not much going on. I'm mainly waiting for. I'm going to be waiting for a couple of years to finish up these battleships, and then I'm ready to make a move on one of the unmanned fleets.
Acquisition severely helped out my end credits problem. I was at nearly -50. Now I'm at -5.
Seriously? One planet?
And I also gained a lot of stuff in the nearby system. Yeah.
There's not that much energy credit income from that.
You would think not, but Evidently.
And I'm putting down a colony ship full of the superior Menjeti.
My Menjeti are the superior Menjeti.
Mine are.
Oh. My Menjeti are the original.
Mine are the improved version.
To quote Barney Stinson, new is always better.
So, what parts have you been building at work, Diarmud?
Just pretty much the same one. We had when we got the order, it was a big enough order for what we normally get in 3 years. So we're still working on it, but we should finish it by the end of this week. Just what we call SOP covers. It was just a circular part with an open top and bottom. Not quite a tube, but it's kind of
Like a funnel?
Like 200 days.
Funnel-esque. It's kind of hard to describe. Trying to think how I might, but I can't think of it.
So, I have some story to tell about work for me.
Go for it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I was asked to teach this class called Finite Mathematics, okay? And the department has it set up so that all of the homework and all of the tests, like all of the homework is online, all of the tests are multiple choice, okay? But I have to get in contact with the textbook publisher to be able to get instructor access to the website for where all the homework is, okay? So
Alright.
a week before the semester starts, I send in my application to get approved, and they say it usually takes 2 to 4 business days to verify that someone applying for instructor access is in fact an employee of the university and is also the instructor for this class. Well, that was 2 weeks ago, and they
Wow.
are still working on approving my paperwork.
Oh,
So-
that's so much better.
So 2 weeks have gone, well, okay, 3 weeks ago actually. 2 weeks ago is the start of the semester. So I have been unable to access my students' homework. Fortunately, one of the previous instructors for the course was able to get Pearson to open up a new section of the class so that my students are able to see their homework, to do their homework and turn in their homework and get grades for their homework. Grades that I cannot see because I do not have instructor access yet.
That's kind of stupid.
Oh, it's remarkably so. They said that the reason that they couldn't approve me and give me access was because they couldn't contact the department chair for the math department. And the reason that they couldn't contact him is because he's been on vacation. Like, my thoughts are, why not just look up on my university website? My picture is right there on the website as an instructor, you know? They could easily do a Google search and find me, and I'd be right there, and then they could give me access, but they won't. So,
Too easy.
and they don't work on weekends either. You know, 9 to 5 business hours are the only times that they work on their applications.
Of course.
So that is my story. Is that it is 2 weeks into a 7-week class, and I still cannot access my students' homework grades.
That just
Well, if
sucks.
we're just talking about stories,
Real quick though,
go ahead.
Math.
Yeah?
The Tick Rules wanted to jump in on the Menjeti situation.
Ah,
And he just said he just wanted to let us know that psychic mushrooms. What isn't to love?
I know, my mushrooms are great.
Now, to be fair, I did give your entire race at least latent psionics, even if it's only the ones that are in my territory that are fully psionic. But yeah, how much? I'm almost done. 86 days until the sensor array comes online. Very short amount of time.
Everything.
And then I will see everything in the galaxy. I will be all-seeing, all-knowing.
And we have an active sensor link arrangement, so I will be all-seeing and all-knowing.
Yeah, probably.
I'm just excited for your sensor link. Is that when you're going to attack?
Well, I've got to finish building up my I've got to finish building up the last couple battleships I've got building. I've got 30 days until the first of each pair is done, and then I have one more set of battleships to come out. And then my you know what that will mean though?
What?
My fleet will be over 400k.
That's great.
So I will have over 4,000 fleet power. See, I've
4,000 fleet.
400,000. You know, I'm not sure, but I might be able to take on their 500k fleet, given that I've kitted out mine with mostly anti-unbidden style weaponry. So, and considering that I took on equal-sized fleet, and I lost only like 30k while he lost his entire fleet. So, potentially, I am able to go up against...
I just barely got Zero not long ago, and I have 3 in my system.
Well, let's see about me. I got Zero a little bit ago, and I have...
Please tell me Zero.
1.
That'd be funny.
I have 1 Zero.
Nice. At least you got it, because that's all you really need is 1.
Yeah, all I need is 1. Oh my gosh, it is on like the very edge of my territory. It's like I barely have any. That's because Zero is actually technically mostly found in nebulas.
Incoming
So it tends to... So if I'm looking right, all your Zero dust is all from the Twins Fangs Nebula, which is right on one of the border of my territory. So yeah, you got all your Zero from one area I got my Zero from one, I'm guessing a special planet or something. Oh yeah. Yeah, it had to be, because I think because yeah, it's from inside a gas giant. Well secluded, I see all. I see everything now.
Me too.
Oh, I didn't see.
I appreciate your technology.
So the tick rule says
power in here.
So the tick rule says I should be able to walk over the 500k fleet.
Which fleet are you gonna go for?
Probably
Amletizer?
No, not quite yet on that one. Whoa. There's another fleet that I didn't realize was wandering about. And they have another 500k fleet in the Cerulean Alliance, and another... Wow, they have more fleets than I thought. I guess we kind of lost track of them because, you know, lack of sensor range. Yeah, they weren't attacking in lack of sensor range. But yeah, I should be... So that means, yeah, I should be able to take on any fleet I choose to go after. Although I might want to go after their which one was it? It was the other one. I might want to go after their dimensional anchor first. Or I don't know if they'll come after me if I go after their dimensional anchor. I don't know. Decisions. Anywho. I am starting on another megastructure.
Suppose that what I've looked up, I should be able to technically do megastructures. I just need the tech.
Yep.
I mean, I've gotten all the other resources I needed to find it. I just need it's killing me because there's several techs I want to do, but none of them I need to continue are showing up.
Here. I mean, there was always the help guide. It tells you what you need for each one.
That's what I've been looking up.
I wonder why
What I need,
they're not sending anything against me.
But since the researches that actually show up are semi-random, according to what you can do.
Yeah, but still, I mean, looking up megastructure technology, it should tell you what you need. Yeah, it's under engineering. And it'll tell you like what makes it easier to get, what makes it harder to get.
No, okay, health guy? Are you talking the wiki?
The wiki,
or?
yeah, on the wiki.
I was looking at it earlier. I didn't see mega engineering.
Mega engineering, that's at the very bottom of the engineering section. It requires battleships, deep space installations, and 0-point power.
I have all those.
It has a modifier of 7.5 base, but you get it's unless you have an expertise voidcraft, expertise curate or curator trait or maniacal trait, it's half as likely to come up. It's twice as likely to come up if you have the Voidborn Ascension perk. It's twice as likely to come up if you have the Master Builder's Ascension perk, and it's 20 times more likely to show up if you have the Mega Structure. If you have any Mega Structure,
I don't see it on the Stellaris wiki.
There's a button that says expand when you look at the technology, right?
Oh, yeah, I see it now. Oh, cool to know.
Yep. So you want expertise voidcraft, curator, or maniacal in the engineering slot.
I have curator.
Do you have Master Builder or do you have Voidborn?
No.
So right now that means
have Void Master Builders.
Yeah,
Actually,
that means
Voidborn was going to be my next exception perk I was going to pick up because I read that. I guess I saw that somewhere.
Yeah.
I
So
just
yeah,
need to get that ability because how much longer do I have to my next?
I mean
4 more months.
Yeah, I mean the modifier is 7.5. A lot of modifiers are higher level. Like the repeatable techs have a higher chance of showing up than the mega engineering. Repeatable techs have a higher chance of showing up.
Yeah, it's kind of annoying, but oh well.
I mean, it makes sense to me, but I'm just letting you know.
I'm just saying it's annoying. Oh well, it'll show up eventually.
Okay, so are you ready to attack the Unbidden?
That's cute.
Oh my gosh! I kind of want to do that.
I actually had the chance to say it.
What?
Nothing. Don't worry about it.
I'm gonna hold off on that one. We're over 2 hours anyway.
Really? Oh.
Yeah, we're about 2 hours and 10 minutes.
Wow. Yeah.
Hey, you guys if you guys comment either at the end of the stream or on the video itself when it shows up on if you think I should go ahead and do this. I'm not letting Math or Dearman know until it happens.
We could technically watch your stream and find out.
Yeah, I could. You know what? Fine. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna go.
I'm just curious what it is. You don't have to do it. I'm just curious what it is.
What could go wrong? Well, besides everything, As the tick rule says, what could go wrong besides everything? I think I kind of want to do this, and it will put me at a good state. It will put me at a little bit of a better staging point against the Unbidden themselves. Plus, you know, it's not like I'm actually fighting anyone dangerous. So, but I think I'll declare this war and then we'll end it there because, you know, we're already over for the week. We're already over a few minutes.
Yeah.
Oh, so the thing that you were looking at was declaring war on someone.
On the Beldross. I'm going to annihilate the Beldross. Because I actually found out I can take every single one of their planets. What's more funny is that I'm not even taking them for myself. I'm giving them all to my vassal. I can give every single planet that the Beldross owns. Because I was saying we were going to wrap it.
Oh, I thought you were gonna try and take them really quick and call it good.
I wouldn't have enough time because I have to invade all their planets.
Yeah, true.
I mean, they don't have a fleet. They don't have a fleet worth actually, you know. I don't think they have a fleet at all. They don't have any fleets. So literally, this is me popping into their systems and invading them. But it would still take too long for this video, unless we want to go late. You guys want to go late?
I don't mind playing for a little, at least another 30 minutes or so.
Matt?
I actually have a morning class tomorrow.
All right.
So.
All right.
Sorry.
So we're gonna go ahead and end it here, guys. I am taking out one of the last remaining independent empires for the lulz, while ignoring the unbidden that are on his doorstep.
Dude, I swear, I would be much bigger if I could just start taking the United, have Reed get systems, but you had to have a defensive pact.
I did have to have a defensive pact with him.
I'm not sure why. It's
Because again, he's the only AI empire that has throughout my entire knowledge of him never gotten. I mean, he got a. There was at one point where I got down to below 100 opinion with him, but for the most part, no. He's actually we have been on very friendly terms since we met. So I do not see any reason why I should not ally with him. And yeah, holy crap, I just actually bothered to look at the Ascended Empire's forces. That could give me pause jumping in on top of that. That said, the Titan class is a good 50k. I think they're actually worth the fleet power they mention. They can one-shot battleships, true, but once they go down, they go down fairly quick for the amount of fleet power that they supposedly give. 50 battleships, I think, is worth more than even 25 battleships is worth more than a single Titan. So yeah, I think actually I might be able to take on their that fleet. But yeah, well, you know, that's for another day. Anywho, thank you guys for watching. Thank you especially to those who decided to jump in and watch us live stream it. We love you guys. This is the reason why we keep streaming it at all. And we will see you next week. Hopefully a little bit earlier, but we will see you next week at some point.
Yeah, Sunday evening.
So, farewell.
See you guys later.
bye, YouTube land.